Hello everybody, it's me Equius, and it's also me Bugsy. I'll be recording another video for Monday, hiveswap should always be a Monday thing. Like, think about it. Like, for people that are like at school or whatever, almost home. You know that I have a video planned for you guys, but you don't know what it is. And then you go, oh my god, he's doing hiveswap friendsim. If you guys will allow me to break character for a moment. I'm a Homestuck fan, and I love hiveswap. I love hiveswap so far because all this stuff is good, and the fact that it's so freaking cheap. So it's like 99 cents. But for 99 cents, you get a lot for 99 cents. You know what I mean? It's pretty good value. Anyways, but sorry for breaking the fourth wall. But guys, I love friendsim. I just like doing it on Mondays because I just feel like it makes sense. In my own chaotic way, it feels like it makes sense. So we're gonna go with not the lawyer dude because I fucking hate lawyers. So we're gonna go with him. When I come back from hiatus, we'll go with him, but I want to do this dude first, not in a sexual way. Equius. Well, I'm not saying that it's lewd, but it kinda is. Of course it is, Equius. Of course it is. Let's just get going. It's probably best for you if you stop trying to predict what's going to happen to you at this point. Everything that's happened so far on this planet is kind of chaotic. It's kind of why I like it. So you like Old Eternity? Well, I'm a Chaos Lord, man. We tend to like the handiwork of others. You know what I mean? We're arbiters of chaos, so the Kuro Royal family is. I should really get into that. Not just because they have the name Chaos Lords doesn't mean like all Chaos Lords do chaos. Just Kuros and other royal families if they actually feel like it. You can't do it on Earth because Earth has enough chaos. So I don't know. Maybe one day I'll go to the stars and cause some havoc there. Who knows? Nah, no, probably not. You head back to your abandoned. You head back to the site of your abandoned spaceship. Sure, it's smashed beyond compare, but it's a little slice of home. Maybe one or two pieces of it are fixable. You march off in what you think is the right direction. But when you get there, you're not alone. A little guy in a hat and big goggles is standing there gazing at your spaceship, maybe assessing it. As you watch, he breaks off a couple gears and stuffs it in his pocket. Hey! Alright, it should be me doing this. Hey! You clear your throat loudly. Galloping gravy. Oh, good galloping gravy. Why, I've never seen the likes of you before. What strange wonders from the heavens have rained down upon us today? You quickly lose any indignation. You were building up. You were building up. He's smiling at you, and his words seem Hey, guys, I was thinking, how about for Monday? Since I haven't been doing a lot of the friendsim schedule, I was thinking I could just for the first part of Monday, we could just do a hiveswap marathon. I mean, I'm pre-recording this, but I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe a hiveswap marathon would be pretty cool. Maybe you got this person all wrong. Maybe this person, maybe this is the person next to you. You're gonna get chummy with. You cut right to the chase. No point of beating around the the ground leaf covering. That's probably what they call it on this planet. Well, you're not totally wrong. You let this guy know. You let this you let this guy know you're the proprietor of the spaceship he's stripping, and you you're in mighty need of a new friend. A friend, eh? A bosom companion? A pal around town? I've seen nary a Tom Dickus or Harry. Oh, a Tom Dick or Harry around these parts who might fit. I've seen nary a Tom Dick and Harry around these parts who might fit the bill. You were kind of trying to find that this guy could be your friend. Is it too late to say that now? You try to imply with your eyebrows. As for me, day-to-day matters on Alternia is hold up. As for me, day-to-day matters here on Alternia interest me not. I only care for hurling. I only care about hurling the great speeds through the wait a minute. I don't, I only care about hurling at great speeds through the boundless expanse of the cosmos. That's right, space. You High Blood, you should probably do the no. We do the portal thing. It's just because people are gonna say we're just pulling old memes out of our asses. And I don't feel like doing it. Yeah, I actually have to fiddle around with it and do things to it. And it's not fun. All right, that's right. Space. Is it? Is it space? It is space flight that consumes my every waking, every waking thought, and all my adore, as in as in my accordance with my duty as a future Alternian crusader, of course. No oxygen, no wind, a total vacuum. That is the life for me. On all right, flying ab- flying in space above the atmosphere with not within the realms of within the not within the realms of gravity. Per, Purview wouldn't have it any other way. Right. You get the feeling that you. Oh, heck, you can go right ahead. You, oh, okay. Right, you get the feeling, you're missing something. This guy seems really defensive about his interest in spaceflight. Like, maybe he's trying something totally different. Whatever it is, whatever it is, his internal conflict clearly takes precedence over your issues. He seems like a great candidate for a friend, despite the fact that his voice like it belongs on a news on a news. Oh, he's a new. Oh, it's newsreel shit. Well, I could go that way, or with this voice, I can go that way, the other way. I've you were doing fine with what you had before. Yeah, sure, because I can totally, I can newsreel it up. You're doing, you're doing fine. You're doing fine. Okay, okay. Hold up. Oh, um, yeah, do that while I'm warming up my voice, okay? His voice sounds like it belongs over a newsreel about World War II. I just have one query I have one query for you, sport. I have one query for you, sport, if I may be so bold. Oh crap, I freaking seen him. Do you like spaceflight? Do you yearn? Do you yearn to see the moons shining above the clouds as it whips by whip by whipping you as you chase and tease the whip the impish western winds? And then also keep going past that up into space. Actually, I'm gonna be honest. I mean, why do you think it? I mean, why does anybody think I have the Great Falcon? Like, why do you guys think I have the Great Falcon circling Earth as we speak? I love space. Like, if you never knew that about me, now you know. Two kindred souls traveling hand in hand in into a glorious yet inevitable future. Con, conscri- conscripted service in space, which in which as I've already made it clear, a thing I most definitely positively positively desire. Toodaloo. Well, I like spaceflight too. What the? You know what? Fuck it. We just gonna go with that. But Hybrid, they want more than that. Oh yeah, you're right. That means we gotta skip everything and just do it. It sucks. So you are gonna do this one. Yeah. If we can squeeze it into the video, yeah, we can do that. We'll do that. Speed through.
Ah, I see. You're an individual with a more sophisticated palate. A real connoisseur of the buoyant arts you are. Like someone that can never be satisfied with the ult- an- anemic anemic affairs of traveling through the inky blackness of galaxies. I believe it. Johnson, my hive is in order. Let's wiggle on. There's a lot going on here. Oh, wait a minute. Equius, go right ahead. There's a lot going on here, but you understand that he wants you to follow him. Equius, I know what you're thinking. Just keep reading, please. The friendly guy, the friendly guy takes you to a building where all rooms seem to be balanced, spindly, spindly looking slits. The hive so the hive soars the hive soars above you into the sky. He gestures to a little platform attached to a pulley system, like a rudimentary elevator. It brings you up to a small dark room.
You Charles had some good space flight stuff. I mean, I don't really like this right here because it kind of reminds me of something else. His house is pretty much what you have guessed. Walls covering star maps and pictures of spaceships. You notice many of them have cheery slogans like splashed across them like "Explore the galaxies," but because you are required to fulfill your duty to society. Enlist, travel, make friends, don't get cold. And it's just the hive just the hive for dedicated spacecraft enthusiasts, isn't it? Well, it's cool though. Even though I don't really like alternative spacecrafts, I find that you guys mostly like the angular stuff. Well, when you're in like a tight dogfight, you don't really need to be that angular. Are you really trying to talk about alternating? You guys' ships are just kind of Not saying it's bad. I'm a dude who makes spaceships, man. And I just think, your ships are kind of cool, but you know, that where your jets are and the fuel way, I feel like that's a problem that you guys need to fix. Wow, didn't really know you were a spaceship enthusiast. Equius, what do you think I do when I'm not making videos or I'm not hanging out? I'm not hanging out with my brothers, or I'm not around, or I'm just not planning things. I usually find a little bit of that time to work on adjustments to the Great Falcon. You nod. You nod. You're sure. You're sure what this is leading to, but no one ever went wrong with relying on non-specific and plausibly deniable agreements. A lot of people went wrong. Who am I fooling? Who am I fooling? You've rumbled. You've you've rumbled me, my potential new chum. What you see before you is a collage of falsehood. I'm I am nothing but an an aviator of baloney. In truth, in truth, the myriads of templates and desires of space do nothing but tickle my biscuit. What? What? I don't want to know what your biscuit is. I mean, crap, I've seen Choro Genitalia and I don't want to see it ever again. But you have seen. No, no, equius, don't let slip about the other thing. Cardcat would get so fucking mad. Last thing I want. Last thing I want to hear is, "Yo, Bugsy John Nook Face Kuro." That's the last thing I want to hear from him. Just Jesus.
Anyways, the thought of participating in the glorious eternal conquest gives me the screaming memes. Oh, oh, oh! You know, my interest lies in something a little lower down. I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm starting to feel kind of I'm starting to feel kind of weird.
Like the time I stepped into Equius's gym, and I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to talk about it with you guys. This is that creepy. Are you really that weirded out by the? Yes, you have a gym and a hall of horse clocks. And you know what? If you guys looked at the Paradox Space comic, you guys know what I'm talking about.
He reaches up, peels back one of the posters, and behind it is another poster. This one is showing a view of the clouds in the night sky. Behold my shame. The truth is, I long to toss and turn within my grasp, the grasp of Mistress Gravity with my sweet finger. You want to traverse the sky can be such a thing. I imagine, imagine flying within the confines of Altaria's various atmosphere, defying very conventions of what we all know to be true. Instead of down, up. Instead of falling, soaring. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Can you see it before you?
Well, come on. Well, as Chaos Lords can fly naturally, so I do understand his want to actually fly. Planes can't do it. A Chaos Lord can only fly upon their own wings. Planes just make us sick because they're not really us flying. We're just we're in vehicles that fly, and that's not cool. But what about your ship? Well, my ship's mostly for space. If I'm gonna fly around, I'm gonna do it with my own wings, you know? If I'm gonna fly around Earth, I'd rather do it in my own wings, you know? Explore. Even though I've basically flown everywhere around the Earth, backwards and forwards. Also, the holodeck too. You know, I've been meaning to ask you about the holodeck. Equius, can you talk to me about it later? Because I know what you want. But dude, I just cleaned in there, and I don't want to clean. You know, I don't want to clean no troll. I don't want to clean troll jizz. Okay, don't tell Monica. Don't tell Monica, and don't tell Monica and Eridan about it or Gansey, because they will want to. Well, I know Gansey will live out his fantasies against Dave, so I don't really have to worry about that. But actually, why don't I give Gansey the holodeck to live out his violenter tendencies to Dave? It would make sense.
Mm. But I can ponder that another day. Could you ever dream of the existence of such a flying machine? Uh, I could tell them that airplanes exist, but they probably don't exist on Eternia, so I'm just gonna say, but the future is ours to build, my strange youth, unhorned comrade. What do you think does it excite you? You can't help but notice that he's referring to you as chum or comrade, but friend hasn't made an appearance yet. It's the same thing, man! A chum is like another way of saying friend, and comrade's another way of saying friend. You know, your compadre, your compatriot. You know, even though equius and Eridan kind of are annoying to me, they're my friends too, and my roommates for better or for worse. Even though sometimes, even though sometimes when equius is nude, I just want to hurl like all over the place, and I never want to stop. And like Eridan has our whole place smelling like artificial, artificial sex and fish. Now, which smell belongs to Eridan and which one belongs to Monica, you will never know. But anyways, do synonyms count, or is it just, a tick, or it's just a tick of his speaking style? You look earnest as you nod vigorously. You are almost positive the th- this is the thing he really wants to express interest in. He wants you to express interest in. Aha! The truth will, the truth will, the truth will out. You and I share the, you and I share a, a furtive passion for the indulgence of the air. A dialogue between a troll, a flying machine, and the stars. But further away from the stars. So what we doing? We're gonna do the whole entire. Well, we're gonna do this one, and then I'm gonna kind of set up the other one because I kind of want to get this volume over with. But I think Tuesday I might just do an extra one, you know, for everybody else. I can't stress this. I can't stress enough how of a how of a how different of a thing this is. You can't decide between nodding and shaking. Your head your head here. So you furrow your brow and do your best to look thoughtful. Like maybe you are contemplating the difference. This fellow's demeanor towards you is definitely shape has definitely shading to more to temp, the more temperate climate zones, meaning that he's cold. However, his certain physical needs are starting to assert themselves. You're pretty banged up from your previous adventures, but right now your stomach is aching, screaming for attention. You humbly ask your friend to be if there might be any chance of getting a bite to eat. But of course, why, if I had known you had a rumbling in your old digestive bladder, I would have shut my yapper to it sweet. Time for a good old nosh. A yum roon, what ho?
You know, I should have got Jake to do this with me. What? Why would you want Jake to do this? Well, I mean, he's an English chap, and that would actually make more sense if he was doing this, not me, because I'm not British. I'm not British at all. I mean, Chappie is, but he's been kind of pulling away from his old Chappie ways for reasons I don't even understand. Anyways, we could venture into the great unknown, which is to say, out of my hive, or we could stay here and behold whatever twists and turns Lady Fate has in store for us in the nutrition block. What do you say, new timer? Should we go out and look for food? Why are you asking me? I'm just saying, because every time I pick something out of my gut for the first time, it usually ends up bad. So you gotta pick. All right. I'll pick. He's hungry, so we should probably look for sustenance. Yeah, I was thinking that too. From your budding chum words, it sounds like he himself isn't sure if there's any food in the house. Best to risk it and go outside. You tell him your decision. Top choice, Buckaroo. Foraging is how I while most of my time away, after all. There's one small matter to trouble a little bit of brain power. If we venture out into the unknown yonder, we should obtain some chow for my Lucius as well. He's a real grumpy Gustav. If he goes up for too long without his nosh. You draw yourself up proudly. It's taken a lot of bizarre run-ins and harrowing close shaves, but you know all about Lucis, and you require about Gustav, was it? Ho, what a card! Ho, what a card you are! What a card you are! No, my Lucis, I call him Canary, the Canary. Why do I feel like Bioshock, which one? Bioshock Infinite, whatever it was? Why do I feel like that right now? His beak touches the top of your pal's head. Might count as affection. He's not a persnickety sort. All kinds of bugs and leaves will tickle his fancy. Shall we away? Shall we great the horizon that rushes forward to meet us with astounding grace? Shall we give ourselves to our current time of great river? A current time's great river. Sure, you tell him you can leave the house.
it's a lot safer to pay attention to only the words this guy says that actually make sense. I actually understand it.
Let's just say there's a lot about guys. There's a lot about me you don't know, and I should probably clarify on a few things before my break. I should clarify, but not now.
You kind of enjoy his way. Oh, equius, he's ready to do it. You kind of enjoy his way of speaking, though. If nothing else, it gives you the feeling that he's really excited about this quest, this food quest you're going on together. Your alien pal leads you back down through the pulley system outside. The trip is not easy on your bruised ribs. The thing,
Okay, at this point, your ribs have been bruised for a little bit, man. You need to like either find something to heal or just leave them bruised or something. I mean, for a guy that has bruised ribs, you think you would be in more pain.
the thing, the thing about walking is when you walk, your body moves. You've had better you had better times. All you had better times is all you're saying. You indicate you can indicate as much to your companion. Oh boy, I hear you. Moving while attached to moving while attached to the alternating surface is the worst, kind of hooey. The moment the when the autonomous flight is invented trembles ever closer to the present. Can you hear it? The the well of a distant klaxon calls to adventure, beckons beckons us to beckons us forward through the years of gold through a golden thread, stretching ever onwards that glorious inevitability. You're not sure what you meant. You're not sure what you meant, but his excitement cheers you up a little. Maybe you felt better in the future when some events flight on this planet. By that time, you certainly either will be further along in your healing or dead. Goddamn, man, you're kind of morbid. Yeah, he's very morbid. I mean, shit. I mean, you think you get. I get that whenever I talk to Aradia.
Yes, Aradia. She's never going to call you, dude. Just thought I might say this in the video. She will. Dude, I mean, man, we'll talk about this later. But I'm just saying, you need to stop. You were. Well, I mean, we'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it later. Just because I think me and the guys need to give you an intervention.
But we ain't telling you where it's happening. It's just gonna happen out of the blue. Either the way, either way, thinking about the future brings a little rosy glow to your heart. You ask your buddy where you're going next. The world is our Bolivia sea critter. We'll go wherever the wind calls our names. Great. But if it's a short term but if it's a short term answer you're inquiring after, there's a specific plant that Canary likes to eat. It's got white petals and leaves that are red. As a troll's most lurid desires. Could you give a holler if your bulb falls on something? Wait a minute. Could you give a holler if your bulbs fall on something of that persuasion? You agree to keep an eye on and continue trudging along beside him, wincing whenever your steps jolt your injuries. Maybe a little conversation will help distract you. You ask your new friend what got him interested in flying in the first place. What could be better up there of worldly concerns? In the wind, in the in in your the wind in your face, the horizon at your back, seeing the continent spread out below you, feeling some personal aesthetic is appropriate given the circumstances. You chew over this for a minute or two. It seems like what really makes this guy tick is the travel and adventure thing. Trust me, with Annie, it drives me. Y'all know my girlfriend ain't anything, but she always wants to go on adventures. And always wants me to open up a portal everywhere. I love it, but sometimes adventure for me nowadays is staying in this dimension. Or at least staying in dimensions I actually freaking know. You know, like AGs or Gs because I like messing with G and I like hanging out with AG sometimes whenever we got the chance. Doesn't mean I won't travel every now and again, but geez, sometimes I just want to stay. Sometimes I want to stay put. Sometimes. Other times, depending. It depends on what the situation. It depends on what situation I'm in, really. Don't know why I said all that, but there it is. Or maybe that you're just getting him from his general demeanor and pretty much everything he's said up until now. You're nervous to bring up anything that might make him dislike you, but in the interests of bonding, you forge ahead. Aren't there, you say with apprehension, maybe some similarities between flying and space travel? Like the urge of being in a spaceship could satisfy some of these urges? Wait! There may be some superficial similarities to trick the common troll. But in essence, the blood pusher and soul of each as different as night and day, as different as mountain in a ditch, a star in a mud puddle. Don't don't get the don't get don't get a fellow wrong. Space travel is fine. Well, it's the only way to satisfy our bloodthirsty and nearly immortal overlords. I I look forward to such a time when I can be of service. In the eternal milestone of intergalactic conquest. But it's missing the punch, the pizzazz, the kaboom. Okay, he's acting like Valkyr acts like really young, really a young me that just figured out how to fly. You're probably like, Bugsy, what changed you from then to now? A lot of things, guys. A lot of things. A load of things that would take like 5 hours to tell you all. You feared, just as you feared, you stepped in it. You stepped in now. You're struggling for a response when, out of the corner of your eye, you spot a cluster of white flowers. Relieved, you point this out to your companion, who races to gather them
Hey, I want to just tell you guys, if you're making a new friend and you just say something online, just say, dude. I don't mean no disrespect or anything. It's just like, you know, I'm just curious. But if you're in this situation, you'd be like, I'm just a dude that traveled here, man. I don't know the lingo or the vernacular and how you actually feel, but we can do all that. We can do all that, man.
Your shoulder droops. Seems like you're doing. Seems like all you're doing is disappointing your buddy, who's been nice to you, or at least that's what you think. That's what you think. You've been reading between the lines of his confusing speaking style. Fear not, my smooth-headed compatriots. These are not these are not rations for our losers as we sought. This plant this plant is people chow. What I mean to say is we can eat it. Since we are people and it is food for people, not food made of people. Just to be clear.
I mean,
He comes back with a fistful of flowers and hands you one of its blue leaves.
I don't know, man. This someone. I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, it's. I can't really tell you anything, but it's not. It's not gonna be that bad.
You sure? Your stomach is groaning. You might as well. You might as well be a. It might as well be a perfectly seared steak. You put it in your mouth. Chewing on the leaf, you feel even more affection towards this guy than before. You were worried that the trip was turning into an excuse for him to run some kind of household errand, but he's really trying to find you something to eat. You are desperate to find a way to show him that you understand his interests. You want to connect with him on a deep soul level.
Okay. What's wrong with connecting on a deep soul level? I mean, as long as it doesn't get too deep, you know what I'm saying? I mean, me and Gamsey connect because we both have, you know, we're both people that, well, for a while had a rage dictated. And, even though we both have a amount of shared blood on our hands,
We both try to strive to be better, so in a way, I can understand soul level, just not too deep. If it gets too deep, it gets kind of romantic, and you don't want to go. I mean, I wouldn't want to go there. Anything to get him to look at you with that treasured glow of friendship in his eye. Whenever he mentions space travel, he talks about how it's something that he has to do, some kind of necessary obligation.
well, that kind of makes sense because when certain trolls become of age, they kind of have to go and pilot one of the warships to do intergalactic conquest. These trolls just want to live life at whilst they can before they have to go up there and before they have to go up there and
Work for the condescension. You weren't gonna say anything. What you want? What you wanted me to say something about the contest?
I mean, what's there to say? You know your space look is showing. I know. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for showing that. I mean, thanks for freaking acknowledging that.
Maybe he doesn't want to do the required thing in space conquest, but he doesn't have to. He doesn't have it in him to rebel entirely all the way. Maybe airplane flight is similar to his envisioning of a compromise between what he has to do and what he wants to do. A balance like he must find in order to live as an individual in society that shapes one's desire from birth. Hey, is someone getting this dialogue from the Homestuck Explained, dude? You cautiously open your mouth. Your heart is pounding. You ask your pal, well, well, I mean, if he, well, if he maybe rather not satisfy the demands of the bloodthirsty overlords, maybe maybe a part of something he wants to get into, a flying machine, and well, leave for real. That's He's taken aback. Maybe you should have never. Yeah,
Troll Society is fucked up when you. I mean, if you guys ain't Homestuck fans, none of this stuff that I'm saying to you, none of this stuff that I'm kind of casually saying is not really gonna make you understand. But let's just say when you read Homestuck, you really get a peek of what Troll Society is, and I kind of feel bad for him now because Troll Society is fucked up, and it's not something they can just be like, "Fuck it, we're gonna leave." They can't leave because from birth, they're pretty much assigned what they have to do based on their blood color, and that, to me, has always been truly sad because they're told what they need to do. They're told that they need to do this, and trust me, as a as a former prince who dodged his royal duties because he felt like he didn't want to. Understand? But I'm I'm king now because I wanted to do it. Because there was an option for me not to be king completely, but I decided I wanted to do it. You know, when it didn't feel like a constricting choice, I took it. Anyways, you okay? Where was I? You were at. He seems to be taken back. Oh, you read it, X. Sorry, I've been reading most of this. Maybe you should have never have said it. What a huge mistake. You probably pushed his friendship out of your reach for good now. Panicking, panicking to side, yelling that you see a you see a big you see big field of white flowers in this direction. Your your potential friend leaps into action, seemingly glad to be given a reason not to answer this question. He raced forwards to in the direction you indicated. In a matter of seconds, there's a yelp and your acquaintance vanishes instantly. You realize the error. You didn't look where you were pointing. While you and Whit while walking, you and Winley came close to walking off the edge of the cliff, which your companion has disappeared now has disappeared over. You race to his side, your stomach flooding in fear. This absolutely is the opposite of what you wanted. You look down in horror at your new friend. How you felt when you first crash landed on this dark planet. He's conscious, but his face is frozen in shock. His leg is twisted under. Oh God, that was. Oh, my leg is giving me a little bit of the. Oh, God dang. Man, I'm feeling hurt. You may not be familiar with them. You may not be familiar with alien anatomy, but You're almost positive it shouldn't look like that. You call on distress if he's going to cast stage for strangeness of language, or won't hurt any less to lose this guy's trust forever. What ho? Kelly who? His voice floats up from the ground, weak but somewhat jovial. Is that possible? He's not angry? Joyous happenings! Oh, delightful of body and spirit! Did you see? Did you being absorbed in what occurred before your very visage? I flew, soaring through the air for just a moment, but it happened. Ecstasy like none I've never known. My strange associate, come down here. We shall celebrate in grand fashion this eve. How did you know? The brief sojourn of Scandinavian film brings us legendary. You're a fine fellow, and truly a superb friend. Your heart lifted with joy when he said that. Of course, you had to find some way to climb down the cliff. Your messed up ribs, and not to mention figuring out how to transport someone with a broken leg back to the house. You're not really sure if that's possible, or when you might find when the adrenaline you've got from this far will give out. You succumb to the force of your own pain. But with a night full of difficulties ahead, you couldn't ask for anything better, balm than balm, knowing you'll face them hand in hand with your friend, assuming that his hands didn't hurt as well. No matter, you did it. Do I even have to say what's wrong with that? No, I don't think you have to. Man, he's more fucked up than Tavros. And this dude fell off a cliff unknowingly while Friska basically jacked up his legs. Are you proud of her for that one? I mean, in a sense, no. But I'll talk about it later, man. With all the time loops I said, I couldn't be there for her 24/7. But I digress. Okay, I gotta remember which volume we're at. We're on volume 4. Okay. So I'm gonna see you guys later. Thank you for watching this video. If you'd be so kind, hit the bell for notifications, share this with your friends, and tell people that hey. Before Bugsy goes on his hiatus, he's gonna give you some sweet hiveswap friendsim. Given by my chaotic tones and equius's somewhat seductive tones. Equius, don't read too much into that. Anyways, we'll see you in a few. Bye guys. See you all later.